What's up guys, welcome back. Today I'm back here at Gettle Hyundai of Lakewood, Florida, checking out yet another 2024 Hyundai Kona. Now this time I have the N line, which is the sportier version, and I'm gonna explore it in detail, taking a complete tour of this vehicle, point out some differences between this and the limited trim level, and we're gonna end up on the interior of this vehicle and take it for a spin at the end of this video. So if you enjoy watching videos like this, don't forget to support the channel by clicking that subscribe button, give me the like, and ring that bell notification bell. And now let's get back to this. Hyundai Kona competes in the subcompact SUV market, and this is one of the busiest segments in the automotive industry. So you have to be bold, you have to make some very brave choices, and Hyundai did this, and I think they nailed it right on the head as far as the design of this vehicle. I absolutely love it. Some people might not, but hey, this is very subjective. Before we look at the design, let's see what powers up this compact SUV. So first of all, the hood opens nice and tall, hood struts on both sides, and underneath the hood you will find a 1.6 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine. It is producing 190 horsepower, 195 foot-pounds of torque, made it to an 8-speed automatic transmission. Gas mileage 28 is the combined number, which is actually not too good, not too bad, but right in range with a lot of other compact SUVs. Close this up. Let's take a look at the design. Nice flat hood, big Hyundai logo, and of course, you'll see this blade light that goes across the entire hood, and scrolling down here, you'll see the regular headlights. Now those are the double beam headlights. Now the only difference that I can see between this and the limited one is in the turn signal right here, which is actually incandescent in here. I kind of wish that they did the LED turn signal on this model as well. And if you look at the front end, it's a little bit more aggressive design. It still has the same feature as we've seen on the limited. By the way, it comes with this new kind of egg-shaped remote, and we're gonna start this vehicle up. I'll show you something cool. Start it up. Now let's see what's going on in the grille right there. You have this little dance going. Opening, closing. Basically what it is, it allows more air to get inside of this engine compartment if needed. You can see the fans are blasting right now because it's really hot outside and this vehicle has been running before. So I'm gonna turn that off. Just wanted to point this out, that this is something that normally you'll find on the vehicles like BMW, some of the higher end models. We haven't seen that on the Hyundai yet. Now this is the first one, right? So you have the N-line badge and more aggressive bumper, front bumper, if you can even call it a bumper, front grille or front end design, because really I don't see any bumpers here unless this can be considered a bumper. Now a lot of places to let the air go through, both on the sides and in the middle, so definitely nice and aerodynamic styling. And that aggressive look continues as we go around this vehicle. So if you look at the side profile, it is nice and sporty, right? If you pay attention to those fender well trims, they're extended, they're a little beefier over the wheels. Now in front and back, they're the same color as the rest of the vehicle, but creating this very unusual look and a little bit more sporty look. It kind of reminds me of the Elantra / Tucson on the side, and that's simply because of all the lines going across this vehicle. Now the previous generation was a little bit more rounded and a little bit more polished. This one definitely has a little bit more tooth in here. And now as far as the wheels and tires, we have the 19-inch wheels on this one. We have the 19-inch wheels on the Limited as well, except a different rim design. I think I like these better. Now, N-line badge on the side. If you look on the around the windows, everything is blacked out. On the Limited, we had a little bit of the satin chrome trim piece going at the bottom of the windows, creating this spoiler in the back. We'll get to the spoiler on this one in just a second. Piano black tops on the mirrors with the turn signal built in. Blind spot assist, you can see that right here. If you pay attention to the door handles right here, you have those little indents. Those are the sensors for the keyless entry. So as soon as I put my hand inside of here, it's going to unlock it. Or if I put my hand right here, it's going to lock it if I have the key anywhere on me. And if you look at the overall shape of it, you see some of those geometrical shapes kind of similar like on the Elantra or Tucson. Now, speaking about spoiler, let's talk about sporty. Right here, take a look at this. Nice, big, kind of a two-piece spoiler, creating this very nice and sporty design. You have this third brake light right here in the middle, shark fin antenna, kind of looking very aerodynamic. And they have the exposed wiper, and of course this blade light, like we've seen on the Limited as well. Big Hyundai logo, Kona 1.6T, and here's the difference as well. If you look at the bottom, now on the Limited, you didn't have any visible exhaust. You have the dual exhaust on this one, and this very aggressive looking rear bottom portion of the bumper, creating this almost like a diffuser look on this vehicle. Now also the taillights are built into the side right here. And then what do we have here? Do we have all LEDs in here? Let's blink it and let's find out. Now, so the light bulbs in the turn signals are still the incandescent one. And one difference that I've noticed as well is that this is not a power gate. We had the power gate on the Limited. This one is manual, and it has also the rear view camera right here. Well, there's no difference in size between the trim levels, so let's take a look what we have here. Still about 25 cubic feet of storage in the back, which is not bad for a subcompact SUV. What do we have here? A set of floor mats, tire mobility kit, which tells me we don't have a spare tire. We're going to check that out. Hyundai Roadside Assistance Kit. Now these are all the accessories that are extra, right? And right underneath here you have this little compartment which almost looks like it's going to fit a spare tire, but this is not included. Maybe you can get one as an accessory, but I'm not sure about that, so don't quote me on it. Now you have this cargo cover that's removable, so you can take that out. Basically simply undo these little loops, and we can actually take that out really quick. Here's how we're looking without it. And then the seats, they have the 60-40 split. And basically lift this up and drop them, and this is going to create a lot more cargo space inside of this vehicle, just in case you're helping your friends move or bought some larger appliance. So definitely you can fit that in there. And now this is what we have for cargo. Let's see about the passenger room. If you like the color, they call it Ecotronic Gray Pearl, and I think this is a new color for this year. Now look at that, there's a lot of glitter inside this paint, so it's nice and sparkly. And then if you open this door right here, on the door panel, you actually see some of the softer material right here, which is a huge plus in my book, because most of the manufacturers just put some of the harsh, black, hard plastic right here. Now, so we have the window control, door control, a little bit of more storage right underneath here. You can put your bottle of water. Well, let's see how the seating surfaces look like. I like this combination. It looks like Alcantara and leather, but on the sticker right here, it almost says that it's an N-line seating combination surfaces, basically. So I'm pretty sure this is all man-made, so no animals have been harmed in the process, at least I hope not. And now right here, you'll see this armrest with the cup holders that opens up, and this is your back seats. Now on the passenger side seat, you'll have some of the cargo netting, and in the middle you have the vents, which is a huge plus in my book. Some of the subcompact SUVs don't have it. You have also two USB Type-C ports and a little bit of storage in the middle, and there's quite a bit bump in the middle, so that third passenger might not be very comfortable. Well, let me jump inside, see if I can fit behind myself, as this front seat is adjusted to my regular sitting position. You know, somebody who's 6 feet tall, I fit in behind it. I'm almost touching. I can't even put my fingers in between my knees and the surface of the seat. So not a ton of room as far as the knees, but as far as the headroom, I have plenty. I have probably about 2 inches. Again, I'm 6 feet tall. I have plenty of shoulder room, so there's not bad at all. Now the third passenger might not be very comfortable, but let's see what's going out in the front. Now, of course, before I get inside, let's take a listen to the sound of the closing door. Boom. Nice, solid feel. Front door panel, just like the rear door panel, you have some soft padding over here, and then everything else is hard plastic. Nothing crazy, usual suspects here with the window, door, and mirror controls. And down underneath here, you have a little bit of storage, as well as a Bose stereo system. So getting inside of this, before we get in, I just want to point out one thing. Now, the driver's seat is power adjusted. Now, the passenger seat is manual adjustment, so one thing to keep that in mind. You also have this pretty cool checkered flag on the door sill, and of course the aluminum with rubber pedals, a little bit more sporty. Now this interior definitely looks more sporty. That includes the front seat. Check this out. You have this N kind of embroidered in here, and then this Alcantara trim just like in the back seats. But now we have some red accents in here looking really, really good. Now this is really Alcantara. I thought it was just something that looks like this. It does say it's an Alcantara. You have some contrast stitching on the side, looking sharp. Let me get inside. I'll show you the rest of it. Well, here we are. This is the interior of this 2024 Hyundai Kona N line. Check this out. I like some of the accents that we didn't see on the limited trim level. I like this red that goes across it. This little shelf we had on the other one as well. You also have the glove box. This is normal, and this is textured dashboard right here. You have a big speaker in the middle and two 12-inch screens, which is nice addition to here. Now, I was wondering what the 4 dots are. I looked it up since then, and apparently this means H in Morse code. So 4 dots, that's H, and Morse code, that's H for Hyundai, I guess. Now you have the speaker, I believe, right here, and this steering wheel looks a little bit more sportier than the N, than the limited one. You have the N badge right at the bottom, a little bit of a contrast stitching. You can see this red contrast stitching right on the inside. Looks really sharp, feels good to the touch as well. Now you have similar functionality on both sides. You have the menu button, that's what's going on in the middle of this instrument cluster, and then you have the cruise control, dynamic cruise control, lane keep assist, and then on this side you have the mode and custom button, which both are customizable, voice control, phone button, and of course up and down this is your volume button as well. Well, let's see what's going on in the instrument cluster. So one thing, unfortunately, that it doesn't have, which was my favorite feature on the Limited, is this blind spot monitor that displays what's going on the right and left hand side. Once you engage the turn signal on it, doesn't have it on this one. Well, let's see what we do have on the left hand side. You have the speedometer, right hand side there's a tachometer. There's different modes that are available. Let's see if it changes anything. Once say, oh, here you go, you put it in sport mode, it gives you a little bit of this candy cane look, a little bit of a sportier look on it, but the same display. So you have the tachometer on the right hand side, speedometer on the left hand side. At the bottom you have the fuel gauge, temperature gauge, as well as the temperature outside and the gear indicator, and in the middle you can see the tire pressure, different trip meters, and then we can go to a different screen in here, which is a compass, and another one is a lane keep assist. That's pretty much what you have in this instrument cluster. Now also when the fuel level goes low, it's also asking you if you want to search for a nearby gas station. So let's see, yes, and let's see how this process works. And here you go, this is displayed right here. So the nearest gas station is Chevron, and it's got gas at $3.45 a gallon, which is pretty good. So if you wanted to fill it up, you can just hit that and it's going to navigate you to it. So let's go back to the home screen, and this is what it looks like. And so you have the map, which you can enlarge like we did before, and this is your media, phone, and here's your different menu. We've seen that on the Limited model. Like this menu, it's more visible, it's clear to read. Phone projection, unfortunately you still have to use the approved USB cable as far as the Android Auto. Somebody said that the Hyundai display or the Hyundai link's gonna be able to do that. We're gonna check that out. Voice memo records a short voice memo, so you don't have to write it down on a piece of paper. Weather, in case you know, you have a hard time looking outside the window, you can see what the weather is outside. Valet mode, Hyundai CarPlay, so service subscription required. So yeah, well, we can't do that without it. And then here's your setup button, and it's going to give you a whole bunch of customization as far as the vehicle, navigation, sound, device connections. Let's see that. No devices paired, Bluetooth, phone projection, Android Auto settings, so it's enabled, but no devices are paired with it right now, and I don't have the cable, so I can't really connect it for you here. The last page is the vehicle diagnostics, maintenance, HD radio, notification, online manual. So this is basically the same as we had on the Limited. Did a little bit more in depth on the Limited, so you can refer back to the video. We're actually working it as a guest, so we're not signed up. We don't have a subscription to the Hyundai Blue Link. Now, one thing that's really important on this vehicle, this is the new shifter for the transmission. Same thing as on the Limited, but for those of you that haven't seen it, this is how you change gears. Well, let me just set this camera up here, maybe. There you go. So you can see right behind here, you can see DNRP, right? So in order to go to drive, you twist it, right? And now you're in drive. Twist it back, you're in reverse. And push it, you're in park. That's basically the quick tutorial on it. Let's put it in reverse and let's see what the rear view camera looks like. It's not a 360, but it's a decent quality. Let's see if we have any different angles. Yeah, so we have 3 different angles on the camera, wide, narrow, and the trailer. And right down here, you have the vents with this red trim. That's pretty much it. Let's see what those shortcut buttons do. Oh, by the way, this is the engine start stop button. Here we have a bunch of shortcuts: home, map, search, media, seek, track, setup, and the custom button. And of course, this is important that you have your regular power and volume knobs and the tune knob on the other side. Well, I wish I could play a little bit more of the music. The Bose stereo really sounds good, but it's going to get copyrighted by YouTube if I play it for any longer. So here's your climate control settings. And you have your dual zone climate control. And you can set it as auto, synchronize it. You can turn it off if you wanted to. Of course, we want to put it at auto, but I'm going to get this fans to a lower settings. And scrolling down here, you also have the USB. Now this is interesting because this is one USB, and if you just want to simply charge it, you have this lit up, right? If you want to charge it and have the data connection, you hit this button, and now you have charging and data. Now this is another USB-C for charging, and you push this, it opens up your 12-volt power outlet, and then you have the wireless charging for your phone down below. Drive modes, we have the normal and sport. I showed you that. Standard are heated seats, auto hold for the brakes, and this is your parking camera that turns on your parking camera, or rear view camera, I should say. And then of course, you have tons of storage right here with those disappearing cup holders. Yes, you could take them out of the way if you need to put something in here, or something bigger, something that won't fit, maybe a big bottle or something. And if you want just a regular cup holder, push the buttons and magic, they reappear. Now, what's going on underneath here? You have a bit more storage, a little bit of shelf, and this is just kind of this little roof over here because I can reach in for stuff if I needed to in here. All right, so nothing too crazy going on the mirror itself. Right on the top console, you have the lights, Blue Link, SOS, and this vehicle also has a sunroof. This is the regular size sunroof, and it's tilt and slide. And of course, it has a nice windscreen. This is the interior of it. Let's take it for a spin. I'm ready to go. I'm all strapped up, buckled in, so ready to go for a test drive. Before we go, finally, Hyundai updated a little bit of an information for the 2024 Hyundai Kona. And right now, there's only two trim levels that you can find at the dealerships. Either the N-Line, which is this one, or the Limited, which I've done before. Now, the SE and the SEL trims are coming later this year, according to Hyundai. Now, those are going to be powered up by the less powerful but bigger displacement engine, the 2-liter engine, non-turbo, on 147 horsepower. I think this is the powertrain to get, the one that I'm sitting at right now, the 1.6 with 190 horsepower. But you know, I haven't test driven the other one with the Kona, so I mean, we'll find out when it gets here. There's going to be a lot of cheaper than these. They're going to be starting at about 24,500. So these starting at almost 31, which were a lot of subcompact SUVs, and these are the highest trim levels, so that's why it's happening. So don't get discouraged if you're looking for a $26,000 vehicle. Just wait a little bit, and the Kona is going to be available in the lower trim levels as well. Now, this and the Limited shares the same powertrain. I'm going to put it in sport mode, although I'm not quite sure of what it does other than changing the display in here. It doesn't have the adaptive suspension. It doesn't have any other gearing on the outside that will allow this vehicle to be on a faster with a sport mode. Probably the way that the transmission is programmed and the gears are going to be a little bit closer together. That's my thinking. Other than that, it should be very similar right to the Limited one. They have different rims, but the same tires, the same size tires. So let's check it out. Unless I haven't thought about it, but this one has this super sporty and cool wing in the back. Unless this one's going to create so much downforce that this vehicle is going to be glued to the road like no other. We're going to check that out. And doing it half throttle here, nice and smooth. Cruising at about 47 miles an hour. There's not much noise coming into the cabin other than the little bit of the tire noise, but I gotta tell you, this is the road. This road, I've tested so many vehicles and it's so rough. And in a minute, it's gonna become smoother and that whole noise is gonna disappear. Like, now. I don't know if you can hear it or not, but there's a huge difference between the two road surfaces that I just switched from one to the other. Overall, nice visibility, decent size mirrors, big windshield. You know, in the back right here, if there's nobody sitting behind it, you can figure out with the mirror, so you still have the good visibility right there. But if you have three people sitting in there, unfortunately, for the size of this vehicle, there's no way. You just won't be able to see much. And do a little bit of a turning here and acceleration on this side street right here to kind of gauge of whether it's the same or not. All right, let's turn it around. And let's see the acceleration from the stop. We got the power. And there you go, that's enough. We get it up to 60, and it's decent, right? I think this is the powertrain to go with the subcompact SUV. Definitely more fun. That's something that's less powerful, even though without mentioning some of the brands. Look up through my videos. There's a few subcompact SUV that I just did that had 137 horsepower. It's just huge difference in performance. 190, 137. So, well, this is a really cool vehicle. The design, I understand that is very subjective. Some people might like it, some people might hate it. In my opinion, this is very refreshed. It's younger, it's more attractive, it's sportier, it's more aggressive than the previous generation. And I didn't think that when I saw the pictures of it. So if you just look at the pictures and you're like, I don't like it, go to the local dealerships. You know, touch it, feel it, drive it, and see what you think about it. It's also bigger. It's got plenty of room. I'm 6 feet tall, have plenty of leg room, shoulder room, headroom, everything as far as the roominess, so no complaints there. Now, which trim would I choose? Would it be the Limited or would it be the N line? Now, I like some of the aspects of the N line. I like the interior, I like the red accents of it, I like the big spoiler, but I gotta tell you, I think I'm a sucker for gadgets. I like the blind spot monitoring system that displays in the instrument cluster. I also like the LED turn signals. I like the power lift gate. Yeah, to me, I think I would go with the Limited, but everyone is different. So go check both of them out, or, you know, compare both of my videos, see which features you like better, and go for it. Guys, I hope this was helpful, and I hope you had some fun watching this video and you learned one thing, and if you did, then I've done my job. So help me grow this channel by supporting it. Hit that subscribe button, ring that bell notification bell, and give me a like. I'll see you in my next video. Cheers.